All right. I'm going to get today's webinar started. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. My name is Helena. I am the product education and community lead at Front, and we're going to talk all about Front today. We're going to start in just a second, but first, I had some quick housekeeping notes that would be helpful for you to know. So first, this webinar is only 30 minutes total. We're going to save the last 10 minutes of that for a live Q&A. Everyone is going to be muted and off camera, so we're taking questions via the Q&A feature in Zoom. So please type them in there. Anytime you have a question that pops up in your mind as I'm talking, post it in there. And secondly, everyone who's here today will also receive a recording of this webinar in your email tomorrow. All right, so let's check out the agenda. It's packed. We're going to spend a few minutes to orient you with Front, and then I'm going to give you a live demo of the product and spend most of our time in the product. Then we're going to do that live Q&A of your questions. And if we do leave today without answering all of the questions, we'll make sure to follow up with an answer via that email tomorrow. All right, so let's get started. What is Front? Front is a customer operations platform that combines two experiences that we already know really well. One, the familiarity of email, and two, the efficiency of a help desk to help streamline communication. And it also brings automated workflows and real-time collaboration into a single place. We're really honored to work with over 8,500 companies across a lot of different industries and globally to help them achieve that 5-star service. And not only do we help you do it, but we live and breathe our own values with industry setting standards ourselves. And we do that by using Front. So here on the screen, you see a highlight of some of our support team stats. If you head to that link on the screen, you'll see even more of our support metrics in a live feed. So that's how confident we are in Front, helping to power your customer operations. We'll literally show you how we're doing in real time. All right, so let's talk about how Front is different from any other tool that you've used. Customer operations encompasses all of the different teams and tools and workflows that are required to create a really exceptional end-to-end experience for your customers. And Front is going to be your central command center for that everyday work, where it can manage both team and individual workflows from one interface. So by having all of these features live in one place, there are significant gains in productivity and cost savings when you can minimize the amount of context switching that many of you are likely doing already today. All right, so before we jump into the demo, I'm going to really quickly cover a few highlights of the product so that we can maximize the demo. All right, one key product area of Front is its omni-channel capability. So you can connect all of your different channels into one place. There's SMS, email, Facebook, Instagram. It's going to automatically route all of those messages to the right people, and it keeps all of this communication visible to the whole team. Then we have collaborative features in Front. That's some of our customers' favorites because it enables really instant collaboration within the message that's only visible to you, not to your customer. We can share and edit drafts, assign conversations, truly work together to get a response out as quickly as possible. All right, and we also give you a lot of context for every single conversation and every single contact, so you don't have to go hunting for it. You can see the conversation history with the customer or the company, and you can also bring in all your other third-party integrations into Front to eliminate context switching. And analytics, that's a really big one. Since all of your customer communications is going to be happening in Front, of course, we have to get insights on all of that information. You can track things like your CSAT, your SLAs, what topics your customers are talking about, the volume your team's handling, and even make staffing decisions. And then, of course, what everyone's talking about, AI. So Front's AI strategy is not just, AI for the sake of AI and inserting it in as many places as possible, but it's really targeted at understanding what takes up most time in your daily work and then making that work more efficient with AI. So that means Front can write responses for you. It can summarize a really long thread for you without you having to read through every single message. It can answer your customers' questions for you. And so that frees up your time to do the more complex human work. All right, so now let me give you a demo of Front. Okay, here you see Front. I am going to try to cover as many things as possible, but I'm not going to be able to cover everything, every feature, because there's just too much. But hopefully I give you enough highlights about how Front could work for you. So first, I'm going to start off with a really quick just navigational orientation of what you're looking at. On the left side here, you have all of the inboxes and your access into your different workspaces. Top left is your individual workspace here. Then you have your shared workspaces on the bottom left, and this includes all of the different channels that you're going to have added to Front. So this is that omni-channel experience. You can have Instagram, Facebook, and etc. Then you have your list of messages here. And, whatever you click on, then you see the actual message. This is kind of a standard email interface. Click on it, see the message. And here in this message panel is where most of that collaboration is going to happen, which I'll dig into in just a moment. Then on the right side, you have your integrations panel and your plugins. So you can bring in all of the different tools that you work with and be able to see all the information from those tools. Anything that we don't have that is already a built-in integration, you can use our API to build a custom plugin. So you can really bring in anything that you want into Front. And then we have the top bar here that is going to help you access your settings and get into the different features of Front on the top left. Okay, so now let's get into the actual specific features that we're all here for. First, let me show you the collaboration features. I'm going to close out the integration here so we have more space. So right now, I am looking at a conversation that has been assigned to me. So here, right up here, I'm the assignee, and this can be assigned to anybody on the team, which gives visibility to the rest of the team who's responsible for it. I can see that the conversation lives in the team inbox called customer support. Everyone sees it's assigned to me, and now I'm going to start working on the conversation. So this question is from Hector. He's asking about what this line on my latest invoice means. And I'm going to start writing, "Hi, Hector, I'm happy to help." Okay, but you know what? I don't actually know how to answer this question. So what I'm going to do is ask my teammate Matthew, because he knows the answer, and say, "Can you help?" And here's a comment and an app mention that I've made to Matthew that only he can see. Hector cannot see this. So now I've just pulled Matthew into the conversation. He's now listed here as a subscriber. And I'm going to wait for Matthew to get back to me. And with this draft that I've started, Matthew can see it. This is a shared draft. And so let me show you what this looks like from Matthew's point of view. Here's a draft that my teammate Karen shared with me. So I can see that this is what she has typed already. I can see it on the screen, and I can take it over. So once I take it over, Karen sees that I've now taken it over, and I start typing and editing her draft. She sees the changes in real time. Once I'm done with this, I'm going to tell Karen, "All done." And she can come back in. This is going to pop back up in her shared with me. And she's going to come back in here and see, okay, Helena's edited my draft. She says she's all done. So she will now take that, click that take over button, and then now she can send it off to the customer. So in just a couple of minutes, we have collaborated on something that might have taken us maybe a day to go back and forth and say, hey, to forward these things back and forth and say, "Oh, see my edits in blue," and then reply and say, "Oh, see my edits in green." And, the whole workflow that we're all very used to. So that is how we share drafts and collaborate. You can also see your different statuses here. So here you can change what your status is so that your teammates can see whether you're out of office or if you're busy or if you're available. All right, and then moving on, I just showed you kind of the human work that goes in to your conversations. I'm going to now show you the rules feature, which is automation, and this is going to reduce your workload by so much. So I'm now in the rule section, and if I click on create rule, I see a whole rule template library of all different kinds of rules that I can create to automate the work that probably humans are doing in my team. So there's different categories of things that you can do. You can do a lot of classifying by tagging. You can even require your team to add a tag from a specific list of tags before they can close out the conversation. You can route the conversations, automatically assign them to people from a specific list or based on the topic or based on a certain sender. And lots of other ways to route them via rule. You can accelerate your conversations by sending auto replies, notifying the right people and pulling them in, setting up SLAs or reply time goals. You can also send conversations out to your other integrations or apps and tools that you're using to get people's attention who may not be in front. And then you can also help drive your reporting by setting up these rules and also sending them to your different integrations. And then you can also, aside from all the templates we give you, you can create your own rule from scratch and make it whatever you'd like. So the rules is one of the biggest features in Front, and it's going to help power your team and make them a ton more efficient. All right, and then the next thing I want to show you is contacts. So this is part of the integrations panel. Once I click on contacts, I have these two tabs here within contact details. One shows me the contact, individual contact. The other one shows me the account or company that they're part of. So this is really helpful because any conversation that I'm clicked on, I can see all of the information about this person. I can see all of the conversation history that I've had with this person. And then I can see all the notes that either I or my teammates have left about this person. So I have all the context here that I need to respond to this person. I would know if they're like a VIP or maybe they've had some really unpleasant experiences with my team. So I know to handle them with care, and I can leave my own notes here for the rest of the team. So that is the contact details to give you additional context, including on the company level is the exact same thing. And speaking of the integrations panel, so these are all the integrations that we have. This allows Front to bring it to become that central command center for everything that you use. So where your conversations are already happening with customers, you can get additional insight into the customer based on whatever other tools you use. So I can click on Shopify and I can see the customer's information. I could see their orders if I run an e-commerce shop. So that is going to be the integrations feature. And then the next thing I want to show you is analytics. So analytics, you click into from the top horizontal bar, and here I see all of the different analytics features that I have, reports that I have. As maybe a manager or an executive, analytics is going to be like that window into how your team is performing because you're likely not living in the inboxes day to day. So to understand how your team is doing, look at analytics. If you have multiple workspaces, you can look at different ones or look at the whole company, all the different workspaces in one. This top one is a new report that we've added to Front Analytics, and that's a live dashboard of what your team is doing right this moment. So this was just updated 40 seconds ago. This gives me a live real-time view of what conversations are open based on the inboxes that I've selected. And I can see how many are unassigned, how many are open. I can see what these different oldest open conversations are. If I click it, it actually opens the conversation for me. I can see what teammates are assigned and how many they have assigned. And then the reports below it are all more historical. So now you can start to dig into, you can start to curate exactly the type of information that you want to see based on the filters. You can look at it by date, the types of inboxes that you want. And so, for example, we can say, select the specific inboxes. We can select the specific teammates or teammate groups. We can filter by tags or channels. And it'll start to populate the exact information that you've defined in your filters. You can even save that view so that you don't have to redo these filters every time. You know that this view is for this specific team or this specific group of people. You can save it and add it as a tab up here, pin it to your view, and then come back and look at it really, really quickly every time. Even schedule it to send to you based on the frequency that you'd like. So this will just show up in your inbox every day or every week or every month. And we have a bunch of different reports here that could really tell you everything that you're looking to know. You can see like what your team's busiest times are. how many messages they've sent, what their average reply time is. You can look at the tags that are being used. And the cool thing is anything that you click on, it's going to pop out this side that shows you all the conversations that went into this metric that you're looking at. You can look at your message templates, your SLA, your CSAT, your chatbot, and your knowledge base, which we will get into next. So Friend also has a chatbot feature that is going to automatically answer questions for your customers. And it also has a knowledge base where you can put all of your help articles and leave it either internal for your team or external for your customers to see, or both. You can have multiple knowledge bases as well. So speaking of knowledge base, that brings us to a really cool feature area, which is AI. So our knowledge base, which I will click into here to show you, once you create your knowledge base, it's going to start powering several AI features in front to help you do the work that you would otherwise manually do. So let me tell you what those things are. First one is, once you have a knowledge base, you're going to be able to use front chat to answer your customers. So here's front.com. This is our own website. We have our chatbot here. So once I open the chatbot, this as a customer, I'm going to see this interface. You can customize exactly what you want the chat to say, what these buttons are, the look and feel, your logo. So as a customer, I'm going to say, okay, I want to learn more about Front. And the chatbot's going to ask me, what's your question? So for example, let me just ask it, can I add an SMS channel to Front? And so I'm going to ask that question. The chatbot's now thinking, and let me show you what our help center looks like. So it's now pulling all the information that we have listed in our help center, and it's going to spit out a response for me, including the sources that link to exactly where I got this information, so that the customer trusts this information and they can get more of it. And it also exposes them, familiarizes them with your help center if they want to do that. So it's now thinking and thinking, and it's giving me a response. So it gives me a step-by-step of exactly what to do, which is even more information that I asked for. And it's telling me exactly the different ways that I can add an SMS. So this is great. This is the chatbot. It's going to give me the sources, and this is all pulling from your knowledge base in Front. The other way that we can use the knowledge base information is in suggested reply. So that means that Front is going to actually write my emails for me if it finds a relevant answer in the help center. So let me show you what that looks like. Here I am with a conversation. So here it is. Okay, so here's an example. Leighton is asking, it'd be great to get analytics across multiple channels. There is a suggested reply because there's matching information in the help center. So if I hover on it, I see what the answer is. If I click on it, it directly pops it in here. So now I already have a response done for me without me having to do anything because it's already listed in the help center. And so those are the features that are going to be powered by the help center. There are several other really cool AI features that I'll quickly show you. There's AI Compose that's going to compose something not based on the help center, but based on whatever the conversation is and or something that I type. So yes, I've activated for you. This is clearly not a good response to write to the customer, but with AI Compose, I can expand that. And so it's going to write out this email for me into an acceptable format for the customer. Even includes things like, if you have specific details, looking forward to your feedback. So this is a full response that it did for me in just a couple of seconds without me having to type all of this out. So that's another really cool AI feature. That we also have AI Summarize, which is going to be at the top of the conversation. If you click it, it's going to summarize the whole conversation for you. This is really helpful when there's a really long thread that you don't want to go back and catch up on. So it'll put the summary up at the top, and as the conversation progresses, it's going to update. And then I'll let that run, and then I'll show you the other feature, which is similar conversations. So similar conversations is going to give you all of the similar historical conversations that your team has done in the past to help you with this conversation that you're working on. Super helpful. And then the last thing I want to show you is AI tagging. So in our rules library, you can create tagging rules that are AI generated or that are AI run. So let's say I want to tag by topic. You're going to be able to define what the different tags are, give it a description, and then be able to train your AI. Front will actually give you an interface and start to serve you examples, asking you, is this the correct tag for this conversation? And you'll say yes, no, train it a bunch of times. And then it's going to now know this conversation should automatically be tagged. And so now you have categorization for all of your work, and you can run analytics on them. Okay, so here we will end the demo part because I'm 2 minutes over and I wanted to leave the last 10 minutes for questions. So let's go over to the Q&A. All right, so someone asked, is Front just for customer support service or can other teams use Front? Any single team can use Front. Front is a horizontal product. We just so happen that lots of support teams and customer success teams really love Front, but every single team can use Front. As long as you have more than one teammate, you can use Front. You could see all of the collaborative features that I showed you. Our whole company is on Front. So we have lots of customers who is like wall to wall using Front and they can't live without it. All right. Let's see. Okay, so you said this was a quick highlight of features. Where can I see a list of your features? Good question. Okay, so list of features you can find on our website, front.com/pricing. Here you can see what all the different plans are, and then you can compare what the different features are. So if you scroll down and just click see all features, you can see what exactly is on each feature, and things like that. So yeah, whatever you're interested in, check it out and see which plan would be best for you. Okay, here's another one that says, how long is your trial? I see it on the screens. Okay, so here is the trial button. It's 7 days. Once you sign up, you get directly into Front, and you can start playing with it. So it'll be 7 days for you, and you can you invite your teammates in there to help test it out with you. Okay, this one says, I don't see our app in the integrations. How easy is it to build a new integration? Maybe there's two answers to this. So if you don't see your tool that you're using in the integrations list, and also let me show you where you can see that, front.com. It's also on our website. So here is a list of everything, all of the integrations that we have already built that you can connect out of the box. If you don't see that here, then you can build your own. And to build your own, dev.frontapp.com is where all of the developer documentation lives. So you do need someone who's technically savvy and knows how to use the API to build it. And also it requires that your other tool, whatever it may be, also allows you to connect to other tools via API. So I would say that it's not something that I personally know how to do, but lots of people out there do. And it's likely that you already have someone on your team or can find somebody on your team that is going to be able to build your plugin for you or your integration for you. We also build our own because we have internal systems that we built ourselves that obviously are not part of the list of integrations that we offer publicly. But yeah, we have a lot of different tools that we've also built into our own Front as custom plugins. Okay, here's another question. Do you mostly work with just B2B tech companies, or is this for other companies too, generally? Okay, so customer stories. This is a profile, like lots of profiles of different customers that we work with and how they use Front, their exact use cases, their workflow. So this is a really great resource if you're interested. Like Talon Air is an aviation company. We have lots of logistics companies. So including other companies like tech, we have travel management, and so many others. Education, we have universities that work with us. So it's not definitely just B2B. It's any team that is working in the modern day, has knowledge workers, and has multiple people on their team. So that hopefully is a good enough answer for you. And here is that website again, front.com/customer-stories. And if you just go to front.com and browse it, I'm sure you'll find all of that. Okay, so I think I've answered all of the questions for today. Um, so I want to say thank you everyone for coming. Please keep an eye out for the follow-up resources. They're going to come to your inbox within 24 hours. And then if you are interested in trying out Front, just go to front.com/sign up or go to front.com, click around, you'll see the big sign up button, sign up, get into the app. And then, you can always email us back at the email that we send you if you have any questions that come up. So yes, thank you so much for spending today with us, and we really hope to see you again. Bye.